Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Welcome to the Traveling Tarot. This is your daily psychic forecast for Thursday, August 29th, 2019. My name is Stephen Dillard Carroll. So, we have gotten through the week almost, and I'm curious as to how those plans, how those goals, how those milestones that you wanted to reach this week have been coming along for you. Have you accomplished what you set out to accomplish? Are you well on your way to accomplishing what you set out to accomplish? What are some of the roadblocks and obstacles that you have had to face down and conquer this week? I made the challenge at the beginning of the week to encourage you to write down what your goals and aspirations were for this week down in the comment section, and I promise to be your biggest cheerleader and your biggest fan while you are accomplishing those good and positive things this week. So why don't you go ahead, and I encourage you to go ahead and comment down below and let me know how it's going for you, and I will be your biggest fan. And while you're down there commenting, I encourage you to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed. Definitely hit that subscribe button so that you can get these daily readings each and every day, which is what actually daily means. And finally, please do share. I like to spread positivity and love and unconditional love in all my readings. So do share that. Share this video with people and let them know that if you're looking for some inspiration, some insight, and some unconditional love, that this is the channel for that. And I thank you for that. Today is a collective reading, as are all my readings. And my hope is that there is always something good and positive that can be gleaned from all of my readings, regardless of your current circumstance. And at the very least, I hope that at the end of the video you feel empowered and emboldened and loved enough to know that you can make good and positive changes in your life. You can make good and positive choices in your life, and you can live your best life ever, starting right here and starting right now. You are empowered to do so. So, without any more ado, trying to come up with a better word, without any more pussyfooting around, I guess let's get into today's reading. And let's see what the big picture for today is, the big story for today, the big plot line for today. And our major story point is being brought to us today by the Seven of Ariel. There he is, the Seven of Ariel. And the Seven of Ariel says you have invested wisely. Have patience and wait for the harvest. Review your progress and make plans for your next endeavor. Okay, so we're setting out today with some good news, saying that what we have invested in is wise, and we are going to reap the benefits and rewards of that in short order, but we must be patient and wait for it to happen. And while we do, we can review our progress and start making more plans. So that's wonderful news to begin with, but we've got two subplots to work with today. So let's see what those two subplots might be. Our first subplot is brought to us by the Four of Ariel. All right. there it is, the Four of Ariel. And the Four of Ariel says, when you give, you also receive, being resistant to change, extremes in how you save or spend money. So perhaps today is about money and finances. We started out today talking about investments, and now we're talking about extremes in how we save and spend our money. So maybe today is about finance. Maybe today will be financial encouragement. For those of you out there who perhaps may be struggling with your finances. So let's see what the third subplot for today is. And our third subplot is brought to us by the Queen of Ariel. The Queen of Ariel. Somebody must need this card. This is like the third day in a row. This card has come up in this exact position. The Queen of Ariel keeps on coming up. So we are going to continue to roll with it. If you've been with me for at least the past 3 days, you will know that the Queen of Ariel has popped up in every reading in the exact same position. Every reading. And so we're going to roll with it, ladies and gentlemen. The Queen of Ariel, there is somebody that needs this insight and inspiration. And until they get it, until it becomes clear to them, we're going to continue on with the Queen of Ariel. The Queen of Ariel is mature, practical, generous, and happy. Nurture yourself and those you love. The ability to make anything more beautiful. Practical and wise advice. So, the Seven of Ariel, the Ariel Archangel is denoted by the Pentacle cards here in the Rider-Waite deck. And when the Pentacle cards are always about practical things. They're always about tangible things. They're always about the five senses. They're always about things that perhaps aren't so esoteric, but are very, very earth-based. Pentacles are very, very earth-based. Pentacles are all about those Capricorns, Tauruses, and Virgos. It's very, very grounded. It's very, very earth-based. So I do believe that this reading is about money matters today. And so we're going to dive into that as we will today, starting with the Seven of Ariel, which is denoted by the Seven of Pentacles in the Rider-Waite. And again, it's pentacles across the board. So we're dealing with tangible matters today. And so that's why I strongly feel like it has to do with money, because money is a very tangible, earth-bound kind of a thing. So the Seven of Ariel is saying, you have invested wisely. Have patience and wait for the harvest. Review your progress and make plans for your next endeavor. You have invested wisely. I mean, what more is to say about that? There may be some of you out there that may have worried about the investments that you have made. Just know that those investments you're going to reap the rewards of that investment. But you do need to have patience and make sure that you don't panic. Again, in practical earthbound terms, very much the reason why Wall Street. The reason why Wall Street is very much like this, it goes up and down and up and down and up and down, is because people panic. word of bad news, and all of a sudden it's like sell, 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 sell. And one moment of good news, it's like buy, 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 buy before, so we can get on the ground floor of this really good news. Buy, 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 buy. And so it's very much that. The pursuit of money, the chasing of money is very much a fear-based thing. I should say, not necessarily the pursuit of money, but how do I want to say this? If money is your number one priority, and I'm not talking about those of us that are, wondering how we're going to pay rent, or how we're going to keep the lights on, or where our next meal is going to come from. That is not what I'm talking about. Please don't misunderstand me. That is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who are consistently pursuing money, in a way that doesn't allow for having enough. That is a very fear-based kind of thing to pursue. Scarcity, the energy of scarcity. There isn't enough. There's not going to be enough. We're going to run out. That energy, that spirit of scarcity makes us pursue, 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 and it's fear-based. And so instead of allowing things time to breathe, room to breathe, room to grow, we are constantly on top of it because we're so afraid of losing what we already have. The Seven of Ariel is encouraging us that we won't lose what we already have. We have worked very hard to get to where we are right now, and we're not going to lose what we have. Relax into it. You have invested wisely, and so you can relax. Now we're going to take this to the next level. Whenever the Seven of Ariel comes up, I always tell people to invest in themselves. Invest in you. For those of us who, perhaps don't have, the extra money bouncing around that we can take and invest in something that is tangible, like real estate, or maybe even a little bit more intangible, like Wall Street or something like that. Or a business opportunity or whatever. For those of us that don't have that extra money bouncing around in order to do that, I always say when the Seven of Ariel comes up, or the Seven of Pentacles comes up, to start investing in yourself. Start investing in your four pillars, your emotional health, your physical health, your spiritual health, and your physical health. Start investing in your four pillars, because when you start because anytime you invest in yourself, it's always a good investment. The best investment you can make is investing in yourself. So start investing in yourself. And if you don't have, that extra money bouncing around that you can invest in tangible things, then you can certainly invest in yourself. And even if you do, by the way, have money that is bouncing around and that you're going to use to invest in this or the other thing, invest in yourself. It's the best investment that you can ever make, regardless of your financial circumstance. Investing in yourself is the best thing that you can possibly do for yourself. So if you are in a position wherein you know that a part of who you are could use a little bit of help, a little bit of growth, a little bit of support, invest in that. You are your greatest asset. So invest in yourself, and it's the wisest investment that you can ever make. And now we move to the Four of Ariel, which is brought to us by the Four of Pentacles in the Rider-Waite deck. And the Four of Ariel is advising us, and again, when we're talking about the idea of scarcity, that energy of scarcity, that spirit of scarcity, when we tap into that and live in that energy, we become very, very precious with our money. We tend to hoard it. We tend to hold it close to us. We tend to be very miserly about how we give and give out money. I always call it the Four of Pentacles the miser card, because that's what it is. It's a person that is so afraid of losing money that they will hold on to it for dear life. And the thing about money, even though it's tangible, even though it's very much a pentacle kind of a thing, very earth-based, actually the energy of money is actually water. And what I mean by that is it flows. It just flows. Water flows. Money flows. Anybody who's been on earth for longer than a minute knows that money flows. It ebbs and it flows. It comes and it goes. And you can either be in the flow or not in the flow of good things, of good money. And sometimes you have a lot of money and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you have just enough money, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you have plenty of money and sometimes you don't. The Four of Ariel is encouraging us to get into that flow and ride that flow. Is it wise to save money for a rainy day? Yes. Is it wise to invest wisely? Yes. Is it wise to make sure that you have money in your savings and in your retirement account and in your 401k and in your IRA? Yes, 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 yes. All of that is smart moves. All of that. But once you have set that foundation of, saving and investing wisely, it's important to allow things to flow as they will anyway. It's important to relax a little bit so that, because when we're holding on tight, we're not moving as fast, as quickly as we could. We're like a boulder in the middle of a river that is flowing, and we're mucking up the process by being that big rock in the middle of a river that is forcing the river to go around us instead of flowing through us. That energy perhaps is going around us. And in order for the energy to flow through us, we need to relax more. We need to allow that energy to flow, because when we're locked up tight, there is no energy flowing. It's just whatever energy you have there is in stasis. But when we release a little bit, when we relax a little bit, when we let go a little bit, all of a sudden we get back in the flow. And a perfect way to do that with the Four of Ariel, and it's the first thing it says, is when you give, you also receive. And in fact, I'll take that a step further, that when you give, you get a hell of a lot more than you ever could give. And that's true. For those of us that are wondering, well, how can I, in a very practical way, release that death grip on money? The easiest way to do that is to start giving it away. Find a charity that you love. Find a community organization that you love. Find a cause that you can get behind. And then start giving money. Start giving money. People who give money sometimes are looked down upon by the charity community, because the charity community is always looking for volunteers. They're always looking for people that will get their hands dirty. They're always looking for people who will dive in with their entire body and help out in physical ways and in tangible ways that way. And very often those of us that write checks are, looked down upon, like anybody can write a check. That's not true. The truth of the matter is, without those people writing checks, a lot of these community organizations would actually fold. So by writing that check, you are actually allowing those community organizations, those charities, those causes, you're actually allowing them to move forward and to evolve and to progress. And so that is just as important as rolling up your sleeves and getting your hands dirty. So if you do have that extra money bouncing around, why not invest it in your community? Why not invest it in your neighborhood, your city, your state? Why not invest it into something that is going to be of good and positive help and service to other people? Invest in your country, invest in the world, invest in areas of the world that would need your money more than you need your money, perhaps. And finally, this says being resistant to change. Again, miserly, holding things tight, don't want to change that much. The Seven of Ariel is represented by someone planting a garden in the Rider-Waite deck and taking a moment to reflect on how it's growing and how it's moving and how it's going to produce a great harvest. The teachable moment in this is to say, if you're resistant to change, you'll never grow. If you're resistant to change, you will never grow. My hope and prayer for you today is that you relax a little bit more and allow yourself the growth opportunity that is there for you. Finally, the Queen of Ariel. She's been coming up a lot. Nurture yourself and those you love, the ability to make anything more beautiful, practical, and wise advice. Perhaps the Queen of Ariel is coming up today to advise us to seek out professional help with our finances. No one teaches us how to be rich. When here in America, we value and we prize athletes, and we value and prize people that are the cream of the crop when it comes to athletes. And when these athletes either are drafted while they're in college or drafted right out of college, money is thrown at them. Money is just thrown at them in order to sign them to contracts and whatever, especially if they're the cream of the crop, if they're the top draft picks, etc., etc. Money is just thrown at them. No one teaches them how to be rich. No one teaches them how to manage their finances. No one teaches them how to invest wisely. Bringing that back to us that perhaps aren't millionaires, the Queen of Ariel today is saying you need to find someone, a financial advisor, to take on your money problems, a financial planner to take on your money matters. There may be some of us that are in debt up to our ears. It might be a wise idea for us to seek outside help to get us back on track. I know for me, I have student loans that are still 20 years later not paid off, and maybe it's time for me to get a financial planner or a financial advisor to help me get out of debt that way. the Queen of Ariel is saying seek out that advice from someone that knows. For those of us that may be coming into money, seek a financial advisor. For those of us that are, again, in debt, seek out a financial advisor to help you get back on track and to make a monthly budget for yourself and to start slowly but surely paying down debt as debt has accumulated in your life. The Queen of Ariel, I think more than anything else today, especially since we're talking about money today, the Queen of Ariel is saying you really do need outside help. You really do need someone that will advise you, and you really do need someone that will actually help you get out of the financial situation that you're in, if it's debt, or help you better manage your money if you're not in debt. So, interesting. Interesting. Thank you, Spirit, for this insight and inspiration today. It's all about money today. It's all about them Benjamins. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. That's for us olds that were into hip hop in the 90s. Or did that come out in the early 2000s? No, it came out in the 90s. Anyway, take that and use it. Thank you, Spirit, for giving us some financial advice today. It is needed and necessary, and there are some of us out there that definitely needed to hear that today. So we will take that and we will use it, and we will apply it to our lives in good and positive ways. So now let's get to the nitty-gritty. We are going to do a 3-card spread to see if there is anything more specific that the universe needs to bring to our attention today. Our 3-card spread will be morning, afternoon, midday, and evening. So we will shuffle the cards one more time. And I'm being told just to lay them out as they are. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, so here we are. Ariel is presented by the Pentacle Cups, and here we are with the 8 of Pentacles. There we are. The 8 of Pentacles. And this is how we're going to start our morning. We're going to start our morning by learning something new. We're going to start our morning by putting our nose to the grindstone. We're going to start our morning with lots and lots of activity, and a lot of it may even be new. The 8 of Pentacles is the apprenticeship card. It is the card of working, putting your nose to the grindstone, and also of learning something new, whether it be a new trade or a new process or a new way of actually doing things. I'm getting more that it might be even just a new process that might be added to the mix wherever you might be working. And there's a learning curve that goes along with that. You're going to be putting your nose to the grindstone, and you're going to be grinding things out today, and you're going to be working this morning, which might not be so different from any other morning for a lot of you out there, but there may be some of you out there that, in addition to putting your nose to the grindstone, are going to be learning something new. And whatever that learning something new is, it's going to be able to assist you as you move forward in your career and as you move forward in your life. Whatever this new process is, it's actually going to be of assistance to you further than just today. So definitely work it out today. Work hard today. You deserve to work hard every now and again, and it's all good news for the morning. So let's go to the midday, and it's brought to us by the 10 of Swords. There's the 10 of Swords right there. And the 10 of Swords is basically it's dead, it's buried, it's gone, stop revisiting it. There's someone out there today that is stuck, mentally stuck in how things were. And it even could be, aha, thank you, universe. Four of Ariel, let's go back to that really quickly. It says, being resistant to change. Change is coming. Thank you, universe. Change is coming. And it's part of this whole apprentice thing. It is part of learning a new process, learning a new way of doing things. It's not going to sit well with you because you're comfortable with the way things are. You're comfortable with doing things the way that you have been doing them. You're comfortable with the way things have been flowing, but all of a sudden someone in the company that you're working for has decided that we need to change processes, and that is not going to sit well with you. Well, guess what? You're gonna have to do it anyway, and whatever that old process it was, whatever that old way of doing things, it's dead, it's buried, it's gone, it's not coming back. No matter how much you fuss about it, no matter how much you stomp your feet and shake your hands at the universe, it's not coming back. A better idea would be, again, to release and let go and allow it to happen as it will. Again, what we talked about with the Four of Ariel, instead of holding on tight, being able to release and allow things to flow as they will flow. So you might have a tough midday and afternoon simply because the morning was a new learning process for you. But just know that this new process is for the best, and it's probably better to let go than it is to fight for the way things were. So that's what the Ten of Swords is saying to us today. And now let's jump to the Fool. This is how we're going to end our day today. The Fool card. There he is, the Fool card, about to step off that cliff like he does. There's the Fool card. The Fool card is telling us to take a leap of faith. It's in the reverse position, which tells us that, again, we're comfortable with the way things are, and we don't necessarily want to take that leap of faith. We don't necessarily want to try something that we don't know what the outcome is going to be. And we're going to go back to our Seven of Ariel, having patience and waiting for the harvest and reviewing your progress and in order to make plans for future endeavors and things like that. That's what the Seven of Ariel is saying. Don't be resistant to that change. There is something new and positive coming down the pike, but you have to be open to it. You have to be open to making those good and positive changes in your life. You have to be open to taking that leap of faith. And the universe is saying now is a perfect time for you to do that. So as you're ending your day and you're contemplating and reviewing and recapping and decompressing from your day, it might do you well to say, tomorrow I'm going to take a leap of faith. I'm going to try something and not be so tied to outcome. I'm going to do something unexpected and see what happens. There you go. What a beautiful and wonderful blessing for today. What a beautiful and wonderful encouragement for today. And what a beautiful and wonderful way to recap a Thursday, right? Yeah. At first I was thinking about doing affirmators at work, but now I'm thinking the universe is pushing me towards just our regular affirmators. So that's what we're going to do today. Yeah, that's what we're going to do today, because I feel as if what we talked about today isn't necessarily about work. It's more about reaping the rewards of work and how we personally handle our finances and how we move through life in regards to our finances. So it's not necessarily about work, it's more about our mindset, our attitude, and our perspective about money. So we're just going to do the regular affirmator today. So one more shuffle, 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 and then we'll cut the cards. And our affirmator for today is brought to us by spontaneity. Interesting. This has come up a couple of times too. Spontaneity. So somebody out there perhaps needs a little bit of encouragement when it comes to spontaneity. And it says, do you like spontaneous adventures of the highest caliber? The only acceptable answer to this question is yes. So buckle up, Charlie. You're about to take a wild ride through the unexplored, unconventional, and underrated. You're about to learn that yes is a magic word with the power to unlock new dimensions in space, time, and after-hours hangouts. Yes will lead you to experiences you didn't think possible and teach you that lifelong friendships are sometimes lurking just behind a karaoke singer's mullet. Let's read that again. Do you like spontaneous adventures of the highest caliber? The only acceptable answer to this question is yes. So buckle up, Charlie. You're about to take a wild ride through the unexplored, unconventional, and underrated. You're about to learn that yes is a magic word with the power to unlock new dimensions in space, time, and after-hours hangouts. Yes will lead you to experiences you didn't think possible and teach you that lifelong friendships are sometimes lurking just behind a karaoke singer's mullet. Saying yes to change. That's what that's about. Spontaneously saying yes to change. Four of Ariel, being resistant to change. This is encouraging you to be spontaneous and say yes to change. Say yes to that new process. Say yes to learning something new. And saying yes to taking that leap of faith. And saying yes to let's try something new. Spontaneity came up, even though it's come up a couple of times, today was very apropos, as it has been the other days, but sort of like the Queen of Ariel that keeps on popping up. The Queen of Ariel, whenever she pops up, whenever any of our cards pop up, they always have something good to say. But if a card is popping up more than once, like the Queen of Ariel has several times this week, and spontaneity at least a couple of times, it means that there's something there that needs to be explored a little bit more. So, with that in mind, let me leave you with my affirmation. Love yourself. Love yourself fully. Love yourself completely. Love yourself wholly. Love yourself unconditionally. Love yourself first and foremost, and everything else will fall into line. I promise. Have a great Thursday, everyone, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.